here. This is sort of close, but yeah, it might be too close. His ladder system is a little older on that original picture, so that's why he was able to keep it closer. But no worries. Here I have a little bit of room. Now I'm just going to push out. If you go too heavy, your foot could potentially slip. If you are not directing the weight down and out, yeah? So that's why it helps to have the tilt of the body in line with the moving leg, yeah? Do you see how I'm tipping here? And the arm is reaching out, okay? So out. If you don't bend your standing leg, then you end up getting a little bit of old-fashioned hip. Yeah? So Saturday night's a little tricky. If people feel funky because they want more weight and their foot doesn't feel secure, use the speed bump or the starter block. The foot can go here, and then when they push, there's no issues with that at all. The other thing is you could use the arm here, yeah, to kind of stabilize, and that helps direct the weight down here. It's a very unique feeling, this exercise. Okay? That's your Saturday night. Then from there we go to floating and then to final kick. Okay, so floating, I do want a little bit of heavier weight on there. I actually might go to a blue-gray, and I'll tell you why. Because floating is basically using your pelvic floor to hold you, and then you release the pelvic floor to allow the legs to split a little bit more. You use the pelvic floor to contract to bring the legs back in. Minimal movement, so you're floating on the resistance, and you want a little bit of resistance here. First or second rung. I think he's on this first rung. Yeah? For floating?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to come out to this position. Hopefully, yeah, your grays are pretty strong, so just FYI, it's a lot of work right here, and that might be a little bit too much. Just because you don't want to feel like your leg is going to slam back in. Actually, a great peach might work really well. So you got to play with it a little bit. Oh, yeah, much better. Okay. Now I don't feel like I'm pushing everything through my side hip here. Now I'm able to get into, lovely picture, isn't it? Into the hammock of my pelvic floor. So I'm going to release and come out and pull up and come in. Yeah? So it's just that very subtle pelvic floor work. Which
good for the whole
connects it
family.
with the what's that?
Fun for the whole family.
Good for the whole family.
Good
for the whole family.
Oh, for the whole family.
Makes the whole family happy.
Yeah. And it's just a very light little movement, very small little movement. And that's all floating is. Okay? You don't have to go all the way out. You don't have to have huge heavy weight on there. You just need enough to float on the resistance. And then be able to work your pelvic floor. Contract, release, contract, release, contract, release. And that's what's going to cause the movement. And you get a nice little TA work. Okay? And then we move into...
Final kick.
Thank you. Final kick. I'll keep the gray peach on there. Remember we had, earlier on, we had the side kick, and our working leg was the ladder leg. Now we've got final kick. The working leg is the cart leg. So I bend, push, bend, push. So I'm holding this stabilization here, and then I'm working. I can come out a little bit more if I feel secure enough, and as long as I don't anteriorly tilt, but I don't move this leg, I just move the outside leg. You can't come in too far because you get that little pull in, and it's a big strain on the back. So really work on pushing out and maybe just coming to just barely outside the line of your outside hip, and then push out from there. Come in. So that actually feels pretty good. That was on a gray and a peach.